Good evening. It is Saturday evening, the eve of Christmas Eve, December 23rd. I hope all of you are doing well out there. And the first thing I want to do is, again, give a shout out back to a couple of channels. These guys have been propping my channel, and I really appreciate them. At God is Great. God is Great gave me a shout out, I think last week. He was doing a quick video there, and all the way from Japan, I think is where he is. He's got some cracked ribs right now. Sounds like, in one of the videos he released recently. Maybe hurting a little bit, and just want to have our thoughts and prayers for him to have a speedy recovery from that injury. It's no fun to have cracked ribs. The next one, that Don't Talk to Robots. I'm guessing he must have given me a shout out. I woke up this morning, I had, I don't know, like low 80s of subs, and I woke up this morning, I got 110 subs. I was like, what in the world? And I started looking at the, is going on here, and I started looking at the feed messages from new subscribers that said, kept reading, Don't Talk to Robots sent me here. Came over from Don't Talk to Robots, new subscriber. All of you, I thank you so much for taking the time to even just to watch the videos I've been putting out. I hope they've been good to you and have given you some goodwill and joy for the hobby and for yourselves. It's a great hobby we have to be able to do this, but Don't Talk to Robots. God is Great. Thank you both for whatever it is you guys have done to help with my channel. All right, so let's move on to a little something else first. I want to give a shout out to the Detroit Collector. He did a video recently, and I don't know, he had like 100 shout outs, it felt like, in there, and somehow he kept them all straight. And I was just really impressed with that, just the amount of humbleness and gratitude the Detroit Collector has, and his love for Detroit sports is very apparent. So Detroit Collector, I'll try to keep this steady. This is for you here. Just got the hand in it too much, that's not good. Let me adjust this a little bit more up. Maybe I can get this. There we go. So add Detroit Collector. There you go. The Detroit Collector, sorry. Autographed Al Kaline with inscription. I think you're the one that said you're big on inscriptions on autographs. I'm not sure, but Hall of Fame 80 there. And Steve Yzerman, rookie card. That's just, I really love that hockey set. It is junk wax era, and it is the tops. It's not OPG, but he was a great player for you guys, for the Red Wings, and just love watching 80s hockey. So there you go. Adjust this back down here to where we're gonna look at some cards now. Zoom back out gently. All right, so with these cards I'm going to show you here, we're going to do a bit of a shout out, or at least recognition of some channels that I've really liked watching, or have also been kind to me and have said some nice things. So I'll try to keep these cards kind of here in a bit of an order where you can see this one here, and I'll put on the left, and then I'll move it over to the right so we still have some cards there. Let's get Steve in there. He deserves to be in there for the whole video. All right. Hopefully that won't distract too much focus on the card. It might, but I don't know. I don't care. All right, first up, Picker Jim S, who's been a strong supporter of my channel from the get-go. I think from Vintage Card Steve, he was one that came over immediately and just has been super nice when Vintage Card Steve gave me the shout out, he was up there on my, said he subscribed pretty quickly. He has an awesome channel, and he had done a VR. I think it was a Peter B. I don't know him very well yet, but it was show a card of your birthday, or show cards your birthday, and Picker Jim put a lot of effort into his video, and the splash window to start it off with was really neat. A lot of shots from his birth year. So I thought I'd show a card that I just picked up. These are now all going to be, there's 5 cards here total, from my latest and last mail day pickups. So for no further ado, 1968 Topps Bob Gibson. Zoom that in a little bit. In the 2, I don't know, that card, I just don't know if there's a sharper 2 you're going to see there. What's nice about the straw borders on the 68s, you get a little weight, a little corner wear, but this one is really nice. I will tell you that underneath the left brim of his ball cap, just above his left eyebrow and down to about the kind of a little less steep than a 45-degree angle, is just a minuscule wrinkle that goes right to about the edge of the photograph before it gets to the border. And that's what is making it a 2, probably. I would show it up closer, but with a lot of cards to show, I don't want to take too much time. There's the back of the card. It's a nice clean back. And of course, this is his, even though they lost in the World Series to the Detroit Collectors Tigers, they account themselves well, and Bob Gibson did as well. He had the season of the really low 1-something ERA that probably never will be broken again. So, got Bob Gibson UK flag was on the side there, and let's see if I can keep him in the shot a little bit here. Okay. So that's for Picker Jim S. Next is a channel that I've really liked to watch his videos. You're getting a great production level that he puts into it. He's got cool theme music at the start, some old school baseball sounding music. And again, this is a card that I've gone out for to get at least one Hall of Famer in one set that I don't have, or year card set. And this would be the Richie Ashburn. So 54 Topps Richie Ashburn here. This is a shout out to @Phillies Baseball Cards. Again, his channel, he puts a lot of time and effort into producing pretty cool videos. A lot of cutting, a lot of editing. I liked this one a few weeks ago, or maybe a month or 2 ago, on a card show he'd gone to. And he did a recent video on Richie Ashburn, and he has just a ton of vintage Phillies cards that he shows. He had an episode on 52 Topps high numbers and the Smokey Burgess. So you guys out there that like catcher cards, the Smokey Burgess card is really neat from that. So Richie Ashburn. And then next there is a gentleman that started his debut video a week or so ago, and just I watched it, and he's gotten a lot of shout outs, a lot of love from the community, but still I wanted to talk about him a little bit, and you go see his channel. It's Baseball Time Traveler. He's a retired gentleman in California, it sounds like, on a fairly limited budget. And he just the story he talked about how he's acquired some of these vintage cards he has was really, really neat, and just like the ingenuity behind it. And I like hearing from collectors that have to budget carefully, and they have to consider carefully, and they may not be able to get every card they want, but just to see the joy in them and to hear them speak about their cards like that is just really super cool. He has a lot of 60 tops on the wall behind him. He was wearing a New York Knights hat, which was awesome. That's like one of my favorite baseball movies, maybe my favorite. But Baseball Time Traveler, if you have not gone there yet, if you're new to this channel, go watch him and watch that debut video. I'm looking for it. Hopefully he's got that next one out. Maybe he does. I haven't seen it yet. The card I've got for him is, let's see if I can do this. This is a side, going to be on the side. That gives a hint that it's a card that has to be displayed on the side. So it could be a 55 tops, could be a 56 tops. But since he's a 60s collector, and 65 is a set I'm trying to get all the Hall of Famers in. Joe Morgan rookie card with Sonny Jackson. Why did I pick this for Baseball Time Traveler? I don't know. He has a lot, again, he has a lot of 60s cards, and the part of what he's going to say he's going to do on his channel is give stories out for his cards. So through the cards, he's going to tell baseball stories, and I think that's really neat. I love the history of the game, and I think it's going to be like going to a on-demand history class in baseball. So I'm looking for that. I know he'll tell a story about Joe Morgan, I hope. But also this is out here for all you Reds fans, especially Big Red Machine era fans. Joe Morgan rookie card in the 2, but it was just at a deal I couldn't pass up. And there have been some great deals out there lately. As card prices have gone down a little bit. Thought this time to get a Hall of Fame rookie card again. I hadn't gotten one in a while. So Joe Morgan. Next channel I'm going to see I've really enjoyed watching lately. And just really sounds like a super nice guy. Mookie Chilson. Huge Mets fan. I think that maybe the name comes from Mookie Wilson. But Mookie Chilson has been out there, and you can just hear the joy in his voice when he talks about the cards and his acquisition. His pinhole card video was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing his pinhole card collection. It takes all kinds, folks, and I really like the uniqueness of that and how he embraces those cards. Then he has a video recently where he's talking about acquiring the autograph of every issued card for the Mets for 1986 tops. That is really cool. That's a really just to hear him talk about Rusty Staub, how hard it was to get that one, and it's the joy here in his voice again of that. He had also a video that he was talking about this guy. Needs no introduction. Larry Doby. This is a first for me for Larry Doby in my collection in the 58 tops. I love that card. I love that look. The yellow background, the green bottom there, just pure art. That stoic look on his face. There's a little bit of a half smile there, but also that steely determination that, you know, he was a trendsetter, a trailblazer, just like Jackie Robinson in the National League. But for all you younger folks out there watching, maybe kids that maybe don't remember back in the day, it was American League played only American League teams. National League only played National League teams. And so Larry Doby was a pioneer in American League, the first African-American player to play baseball in the American League. So many of those American League teams and stands and fans would never have seen Jackie Robinson play live in front of their stadium unless it was a World Series, unless they went to Brooklyn or a National League city. So Larry Doby encountered, just to read his story, just a tremendous amount of racism against him, and him persevering through without being the first, without having that limelight that Jackie did, not being in Brooklyn, in New York City, maybe the mecca of sports in the United States, or just maybe the mecca of the United States, for that matter. He's playing in Cleveland. He also played for the White Sox a little bit. By this point in time, he had come back to Cleveland to finish out his career, and it took him a little while to get in the Hall of Fame. He didn't get in until the 90s, I think. Stayed away a long time. And it was like, felt like there was a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but I love this card. Love the player. Love his story. A lot of the guys out there in the community have earlier Larry Doby cards, and that's awesome. Good for you. You know, his rookie card and so forth. Awesome cards. But this was the one for me, and it also is in my budget price range, under $50. Just awesome card. So I'm gonna bump Joe here, and we're gonna get to the last one. All right, so I'll leave Larry on here, get him in the shot a little better. There we go. Make sure he's in there. He deserves to be in here the rest of that video. This video, well, the final card. This is one I've been looking at for such a long time. And yes, I have cards that are centered. I do like eye appeal. I do like condition, but you know, you go back and look at this rookie card. This was more just a really great opportunity to get a card at a great price. It's not quite centered. The corner's a little rounded. The image is really good on it. So this card coming up was one I've looked at and looked for, but just really wanted a well-centered example. Really well-centered example. Couldn't find it. Or it was in too high of a grade, so it was too expensive, and I just not going to pull the trigger on that. So this is, to me, a grail card, one I've been looking for over 2 years to get in this kind of condition. I'm probably hyping it up too much. But I keep saying centered. So this card is going out to Mr. Centered himself. The amazing, high energy, full of good cheer, just like your inner child the best parts of your inner child coming back out to life, and see this enjoy excitement on his face. And he's talking about his cards. Mr. Centered himself, no further introductions. Dylan at Dylan Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. So Dylan has gotten this card too, and I wanted to share it for him and everyone here. So here it comes. I'll let you just look at that for a minute. That is, just can't even get over that I even own this card. Can't even get that through my head. Wasn't that expensive. It's at a good price. Got off eBay. You can see here, I am always one to point out, you can look up upper right there. There is a mark of some sort on the card, but I don't care. I am not going to find in a grade that's affordable for me one that's going to be that centered again. The back is completely uncentered. That probably contributes to the 5 as well, but I don't know. I really am so stoked to have this card. It's just a privilege, and we have a great hobby here, everybody, and a great community of goodwill going around for all. I've enjoyed watching the videos of guys getting gifts from one another. Just love seeing that. Just love seeing that. But this is it for this video. I may have one more before Christmas. Probably not. No, I'm going to have one. I'll have one next week after Christmas. It's going to be an SGC reveal, I think. It'll just be a small one. But there's going to be working on a video for my top, I don't know if it's going to be 15 or 20 pickups of the year. TJ Maxx had done one of those. Some guys had done some cool pickup videos. I mean, there's some that do the top 50 in their collection, and I'm not at that point yet. But I would like to share some before I got on the channel here and started making videos, my own channel, that I picked up this year that I hadn't shown yet. So I'm going to pick out like the top 15 or 10 of those. I'm pretty sure you're going to see Roger again from his 61 year. Just awesome card. I just can't believe it. I own this card. 61 Topps Roger Maris, the year he broke the Babes record. And what a story of his too. So that's it. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas everyone. And I'm saddling up and heading out to the highway.